Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1068A, and today's date is September 6, 2016, and the title of the episode is The Central Bankers Are Preparing for the Inevitable, the Entire System Collapsing. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, last week we saw the central bankers, they were throwing thousands upon thousands of contracts at gold to suppress gold as much as they possibly can. And as soon as they are finished, what happens? Gold shoots up once again. It is up $27 as we speak. And if the central bankers, if they didn't use these paper contracts to suppress gold, gold would be even higher today. And they understand this. They understand that they need to control this. Now, people are saying, why would they want to control gold? And what does it really mean? Well, gold is an indicator that the economy is failing. The dollar is failing. The dollar is losing value. And if gold continually rises, investors, hedge funds, everyday people will be looking at this saying, I should get into gold. It's continually moving up. And they would do it. The everyday person would be saying, looks like it's a good time to invest in gold. It's the same thought process that is used, let's say, in housing. Prices go up. People say, it's a good time to buy. Prices go up even more. Yes, let's go out and purchase. But it works the opposite in retail. Prices going up, I'm going to wait until it comes down. The best time to purchase gold is when they're suppressing it. And this is what everyone should be doing. Every time you see them bring it down $10, $15, $20, purchase gold. Purchase silver. You don't have to purchase a lot, but you know eventually what's going to happen. It's going to shoot back up. You know eventually, when they completely lose control, it's going to go much, much higher. The central bankers are scared of gold right now, especially here in the United States. This is why they've been demonizing it for so long. And we can see that their system is coming to an end. And this is what they're worried about. We see out in Greece right now that the IMF, the Eurozone, they're looking at Greece saying, listen, we cannot give you any more debt. Actually, Greece should be saying, thank you. We don't want any more debt. Because right now the country is at 176% of GDP. And that's a lot of debt. And what we're seeing right now is that the young, well, they're very angry. Every 2 days, around 15 to 200 kids, they launch attacks, hurling firebombs at riot police, setting fires to dumpsters. People are upset. There are a lot of people out of work. And we can see right now the EU, they are demanding Athens that they push plans to set up new privatization funds, sell the state assets, reform its civil service, more austerity, and then we will give you more debt. And we'll have to see how this plays out, because we're getting to the situation where Europe is deteriorating very, very quickly. And here's an indicator that tells us that Europe is completely falling apart. The Italian finance minister, he wants the Eurogroup to create an unemployment fund. Now, Italy is running an unemployment rate of about 11.4%. This is the fifth largest in the Eurozone. And Italy wants everyone to kick in about 0.5% of GDP to help Eurozone countries that face economic shocks that would impact employment. I thought the Eurozone was doing so well. The Eurozone is not doing well. The Eurozone is deteriorating. The Eurozone unemployment rate continually moves higher and higher. And we can see that countries are looking for assistance because they know what's going to happen. When the system is shocked, more and more people are going to be unemployed. We see this here in the United States. We see it in Canada. We see it throughout Europe. And they know what happens when people aren't working. People get upset. People become angry. People riot. They protest. And we see right now that the situation in Europe is getting worse. I mean, think about this for a second. It's been 16 months since the European Central Bank has now purchased over $1 trillion in government bonds since QE began. And when we look at this and we see what the ECB is doing, it's supposed to help the situation. But what's been happening here, it's done nothing. Manufacturing, new orders are continually declining. Meanwhile, the ECB balance sheet continually increases. The EU 2017 GDP growth continually declines as the ECB balance sheet continually increases. Right now, the GDP expectation in the EU, it's around 1.2%. It is continually dropping. So whatever the ECB is doing, whatever the Fed is doing, whatever the Bank of Japan is doing, it is not helping the overall economy. It's helping their system, their banks, the elite, the 1%, the central bankers. It is helping those individuals. Everyone else is sitting here going, the situation on the ground, it's getting worse. It is not getting better. Here in the United States, we see the ITT Education Services, which has been in business around 50 years right now. Well, they're shutting down. 40,000 students are going to be in limbo. 8,000 employees are going to be fired. And the company said the closure is due to an investigation and sanctions by the U.S. Department of Education. So what we're seeing right now is there are more and more individuals out of work. And all these students, what are they going to do at this point? And of course, you know, they have student loans. This company has been the subject of a state and federal probe for various reasons, including its recruitment tactics, lending practices, and job placement figures. Now, this is the second time we've heard that a college is kind of falsifying job placement figures. Why would that be? I think it was the Corinthian College that was doing this before, where they were sued. Because what's happening right now, more and more people are taking out student loans. They're going to these schools and they're saying, can I get a job if I do this? And they say, yes, of course. You can get a job here or here or here. And this is what you'll be making. But in reality, these jobs don't exist. In reality, they need to fake it to get more and more individuals enrolled. Because they know people aren't going to be taking the money out of their own pocket. They're going to be taking loans out. And they have to show people that after you take these loans out, you're going to get a job. But we see the opposite happening once again. It is so bad here in the United States that right now government employees now outnumber manufacturing employees by almost 100 million. With a ratio of 1.8 government workers to every manufacturing worker. Well, that seems like an incredible economic model that's going to grow and grow and grow and improve. No, it's not. The reason why they needed to add all these government jobs is because we're losing them in manufacturing. Most of the people who've lost their jobs in manufacturing had to get jobs in hospitality, in leisure. And this is exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing that those people who were working in manufacturing, they're getting lower paying leisure and hospitality jobs. Because those jobs right now outnumber manufacturing jobs. So we have government jobs, leisure, hospitality, all outnumbering manufacturing jobs. The situation is not improving. It's actually getting worse. And as time goes on, it's going to get worse and worse. We see the services economy, well, they have crashed to a 6-month low. Services jobs fell to their weakest since December of 2014. And the ISM services data collapsed to 51.4. This is the lowest since February of 2010. And new orders, they are imploding to their weakest since January of 2014. Actually, the Fed's own jobs indicator, it is tumbling. For the 7th month of the last 8, the Fed's labor market indicator has dropped, telling us that this system is dramatically falling apart. Think about all the economic indicators that we have been looking at and how many are continually declining, and some are even worse than 2008. How in the world can the economy be getting better? It can't be. Once again, the U.S. government central bankers, they are lying to the people. And they know the crash is inevitable. There's nothing they can do about it. Yes, they can continually prop it up, but eventually what happens is that other countries realize what's happening, and other countries pull away, which we're seeing right now. And countries say, you know something? I've had enough. And they start forming their own economic system. And they continually pull away from the United States, from the private Western central bank countries. And we're seeing this right now. They're called the BRICS. China, Russia, Brazil, and many of the emerging market countries, they're all doing this because they understand what's going on. In Hungary, we know that the IMF is owned by the Rothschild Group. Well, the Prime Minister in Hungary, guess what he's just done? He has banned the Rothschild Bank from his country. We see Iceland has done it. Hungary's done it. Many other countries are going to wake up and do this. In Russia, Putin has taken control of the central bank. He's taken the control away from the private Western central bank. This is why they're continually provoking war with Russia. Same thing with China. China's trying to play both sides right now. We see many other countries, they're dumping treasury bonds. They're getting rid of their dollar reserves. They're preparing for what is coming. They're getting rid of the West paper and backing their financial system with Eastern paper, gold, silver, or other assets. Because they know the system is dying. The central bankers know it. The U.S. government knows it. Many of the hundreds of millions of people around the U.S., Canada, Australia, throughout Europe, many of these people don't know it. There are a few. There are a few that realize what's going on here. And this is why you need to prepare for what is coming, not just financially, mentally, physically. You need to prepare with food, water, supplies. Because when credit dries up, when credit freezes and many companies go bankrupt, which you know is going to happen. We've already seen it with Hanjin. We've seen it with other corporations where one minute they look really healthy, they're telling you everything is fine. The next minute they're closing their doors. When this starts to happen, these companies will not be able to get credit. Deliveries will stop. Trucking will stop. Rail traffic will stop. Yes, it will be operational in a certain respect, but it will be slow. So products will not be replenished on the shelves very quickly. And this is what everyone needs to understand, is that you don't want to be caught up in that. And this is why you all need to be prepared. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.